did these last night because this is a professional set. This is the Food Network meets my YouTube channel. Seems good to me, having never done this before in my whole life. Is someone mowing right now? I'm trying to film a video about mushy peas for the internet. Do you mind? Mushy peas. While the name sounds a little bit more like something you'd feed a baby than eat as a side dish, mushy peas are a very iconic part of a traditional British fish and chips dinner. They can also be eaten with other things like pie or just chips or completely on their own. And while the history of mushy peas is relatively straightforward, peas have been grown in the UK for over 10,000 years, and mushy peas go back generations, particularly popular in Northern England and the Midlands. Today, we're gonna be doing some experiments. We are in the kitchen and we are going to be figuring out the best way to make homemade mushy peas. So here's the deal. Mushy peas are made with something called a marrow fat pea. And a marrow fat pea is different than a regular garden pea because it has been left in the field to mature and to essentially dry out before being picked. This sounds a little bit like a sad life for a pea just drying out in the field, but it's really good for the humans who eat them because this means it has a higher starch content and is larger than a regular garden pea. And this makes it the best choice for a mushy pea. Which brings me to my first point of contention. When it comes to looking up mushy pea recipes online, you have to be very discerning because there's a lot of misinformation. Some of it is spread by American recipe creators who think they know what mushy peas are but don't actually, and some are made by the frozen pea companies trying to convince you that mushy peas in a proper way can be done with a frozen garden pea. This is absolutely not true. You have to have marrow fat peas for a proper mushy pea. Bird's eye, I am looking at you. Now there is some debate over whether you have to have mint in your mushy peas. We'll go over that in a minute, as well as some variations on if people add butter. But the basic standard mushy pea recipe, if you can call it that, is marrow fat peas plus salt or pepper. The other seasonings are a little bit debatable, so again, I know you're already wanting to comment on the way that you like your mushy peas, but we'll get there. Now we've got 5 variations we're going to be trying today in the mushy pea taste test of the century. The first is homemade mushy peas made the actual proper way, which is with dried peas. So we're gonna start off with completely dried peas, soak them, boil them, do the whole thing. This is gonna be our taste test number 1. The next 2 are straight from the can. They are already mushy peas. We're not gonna have to do anything but heat them up. So we have Morrison's Own, or basically a supermarket own brand. And then we have Bachelor's, which is one of the leading names in the mushy pea category. And so we have both of their chip shop style mushy peas. But of course, this is me, so we're gonna make this more complicated than it needs to be. I have also decided that we are going to try to make our own mushy peas, but with a little bit of a cheat. So if we start with tinned marrow fat peas, which are the correct peas for mushy peas, we can skip the drying and soaking step and compare what this tastes like compared to our other options. So again, we have a supermarket own brand marrow fat peas, as well as a brand name which claims to be the leader in marrow fat peas. So we shall see. Which one is going to taste the best? Which color is gonna come out the greenest? Is starting with dried peas really the way to go? Or can we just like skip straight to the tins? I think it is time for us to find out. Also, caveat, this is not scientific at all. And as an American, I tend to prefer things that actually taste fake. So I am both an unreliable narrator and unreliable experimenter. But this is the internet, so you don't actually have to be right when you say things. Okay, let's go. Okay, first things first is we actually have to start with the very loud box of dried peas because the peas have to be soaked for 12 to 16 hours, so I hope you've got time. What we need to do is first read the packet because we don't know what we're doing. So we need to dissolve the soaking tablets in 850 milliliters of boiling water. No problem, we can do that. So we're going to turn on the kettle, and I have a handy dandy measuring jug here. Let's go ahead and, oh, the kettle is upstaging me. 1 second. Okay, we're good. So we need to open this box of peas and find the soaking tablet. So I'm guessing the soaking tablet is in here somewhere. So let's pour the peas. Oh, found it. So we dissolve this, and this is basically baking soda. So put that in, 850, get a spoon, dissolving. Also, other recipes I saw, like you can just soak them in your own baking soda, but the soaking tablet came with the box. I didn't pay extra. This is all I could find, so this is what we're doing. We've done that. We've got a little bit of soaking tablet still to dissolve, but I'm hoping it will figure its life out over the next 12 to 16 hours. So we've got the dried peas ready to soak, so set your alarms and I'll see you in a little bit. Just kidding, I did these last night because this is a professional set. This is the Food Network meets my YouTube channel. So I did these last night, and they have been soaking and they are ready to go, I think. So you can see from this view that we have got much bigger peas compared to what we just put in, and now we can cook them. The next thing we need to do, according to the internet, is we need to strain them and rinse them a few times. So I have my strainer, which again, is this called a strainer in the UK or a colander? Is that a different thing? I don't know. I think I'd call it a strainer. But we're gonna pour the peas into here, and then we are going to, oh geez. I can't redo that because I could add more, well, should I fake it till I make it? I don't know. And now we rinse. Seems good to me, having never done this before in my whole life. Let's go. The next thing on our agenda, according to the handy dandy instructions, is to place soaked peas, these, into a saucepan. Great. Got one right here. So we'll put these in. Then we are going to put approximately 600 milliliters of boiling water into the pan. I've already boiled it, so we don't have to go through that again. Now, it says season with sugar and salt to taste. However, I'm not entirely sure how much to add. Sugar is listed as an ingredient on all of the other cans, unlike mint. So we are going to use a little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar, and we'll see how we go. And now we boil gently for about 20 minutes, stirring occasionally until the water has been absorbed. Sounds easy enough. And the timer starts for 20 minutes. Also, magic of the movies, I'm not going to film this for 20 minutes of me stirring occasionally, so just so you can picture it, here's me with the spoon, opening the lid, and stirring occasionally per the instruction. So now you know what that might look like. Back with an update. It's been 20 minutes. And I feel like there's still too much water in here. So I read something else online that said simmer for 30 minutes. So I'm gonna give them another 10 minutes. The water is getting very green. I don't know. Is this too much water? It looks like it. I don't want soggy peas, right? We want mushy peas. But I'm also panicking now because I can't figure out, and I keep looking up different recipes. Am I supposed to mush the peas when we finish with this myself, or is the fact that they have basically been boiled in this water and their texture is mushy, does that just count? Am I supposed to just pour this into a bowl? I'm not entirely sure. However, I thought of a solution. We have the pre-made mushy pecans. So I'm gonna open one of those and see what the consistency of that is like to see if I can figure out what we're going for. Now these ones we are just gonna have to heat up for 3 to 4 minutes. It's also got microwave instructions, but I'll pretend like I'm a real cook and use the stove when really I'd rather microwave this, but we'll see. So I'm gonna open this Morrison's Chips Shop style mushy peas and see what's in here. Right. I mean, it doesn't look good, but I guess it's giving us an idea of what we're going for. Let's see what happens if I, oh, it's very thick. Okay. Right, so we've still got some pea like structure in here, but it is quite thick and not as watery as the ones that I'm currently doing on the stove. However, I think we are getting there. It's now been 25 minutes and I can see potential progress. I think I've reached a good consistency, possibly. Come have a look. So here's what we're working with. I think we're gonna go with that. Also, I just told you I was not going to microwave the ones that we could microwave, but honestly, it's just heating it up. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, update from the homemade mushy pea front. I think I've answered my own question. They don't need help being mushed. They've just become mush on their own, which is very clever. So I think I'm ready to pour this into one of the taste testing bowls. Also, to help, is someone mowing right now? I'm trying to film a video about mushy peas for the internet. Do you mind? As I was saying, I have these labels that I'm gonna label each mushy pea type on and put it on the back of the dish so I can't see it. Now, am I gonna remember which one is which? I mean, possibly, but again, this isn't super scientific, but we'll do our best. Are you ready for the taste test? I am, and it's actually lunchtime, so I think I'm just eating mushy peas for lunch today. I did the other 2 tins, the marrow fat peas. I heated them up and I added the same amount of salt and sugar as I did to our dried ones, and then I put them in bowls. So again, imagine that happened. I also have created our very official taste testing criteria: taste, texture, and color, because as we all know, it's not all about the taste. It's also about the presentation and the texture. So I have actually forgotten which is which now. There's one I think I can guess that's completely pre-made because of the texture, but we'll get there. So one by one, we're gonna go through. I've got 5 here, so we're gonna rank them 1 to 5. And I will go ahead and put them up on the screen when I'm talking about them. So, and also I need to cover, I don't know what they are, but I have labeled them. So I need to make sure that I cover it because otherwise I'll see it in the camera. So this is number 1. So let's start with the color because I feel like that will be easier to judge. Number 1's color is very kind of fake green, but very green. But equally, I say fake green, but the homemade ones that I did dried turned out very green in the end. So just because it looks very green doesn't mean that it's not homemade. But I do like this green color, but it's like it's not a dull green, it's a very bright green. Number 2, our color is looking more like throw up. It's a pretty dull green and I would say less appetizing than number 1 if we're going only by color. So definitely number 1 is currently winning. Number 3, also a dull color, also a dull green. So I'm gonna put it's the same kind of color as number 2. Not much difference in it. So I'm not sure how we're actually gonna rank these. I didn't think this all the way through, but those are both below number 1 still. Number 4. Again, I don't know which is which and I'm covering this so I don't see it. Number 4 is looking like actually a nice in-between green, in between the really fake green of number 1 and the dull greens of 2 and 3. So I'm actually gonna say that number 4 is our current top color winner. But let's look at number 5 before we actually make a ranking. Again, this is gonna be quite a bright green, similar to number 1. So is that good, is that bad? I think color-wise, if we're only judging on color and we're only judging on presentation, I'm gonna go with number 4. It's our top color because it's not too bright and it's not too dull. So that's gonna go ahead and get a 5 because we're gonna get points here. So number 4 is getting the best rating for color. And I think it's gonna be followed by the bright greens, I think they're nicer. Okay, now it's time for like the taste and texture test because I can't do taste and texture without trying. So we're just gonna go for it. This is gonna be a lot of peas. So this is number 1. Here we go. And I don't know if these are all the same level of heated through at this point, but okay. All right, open mind, number 1. Pretty good. They definitely taste tinned. I don't think these are the homemade ones, but the texture is good. And the taste is good. I have nothing to compare it to yet, but I'm not spitting it out. I don't dislike it. So we're off to a good start with number 1. I do like the texture. I like that there's actual like pea parts in there that you can eat. I think 3 is gonna be not as good because it's just like one big mush. Number 2, here we go, taste and texture. No. Number 1 is way better. I wonder if these are the marrow fat tinned peas. Again, I'm not sure. We'll reveal in a moment. I don't like the texture. It's like, it looked the same as number one, but you like bite into it more. No, the texture is not good. The taste is okay, but not as good as number one. Number two, not a huge fan. Right, number three, again, this texture definitely is coming from a can, but which one? I'm not sure. No, I don't like the texture at all. No, that is actual baby food. The taste, I'm gonna go back to number two because I'm not sure if the taste is worse between two or three. Three is way worse. Number two has a better taste. No, three is the worst in taste and texture by far, so far. Oh, wow. I'm gonna go back to number one for a second because I need to remind myself that mushy peas are actually good. Number one, currently the winner. I would totally eat those, no problem. Number three, disgusting. Okay, number four. So this, not entirely sure what to think of this. These are really good. I think these are the best so far. The taste is really, really nice. The texture is really nice. And I'm trying to compare the texture between number four and number one. They have a similar texture, but I think number four is a better one by a little bit. Number four are really, really good. And just looking at number five, I already know they're not going to beat number four in taste or texture, but we have to try them. Okay, this is number five. No, I am gonna guess that these are another one of the tinned marrow fat peas that we didn't soak, because they just kind of taste like random peas. They don't taste like mushy peas, but I mean, that might be down to the chef, but I do have a confession to make. I didn't think I liked mushy peas before I started this video, but I would eat number one and number four voluntarily. So I'm very interested to see which ones they are. Based on that, we need to go back and fill in our taste and texture. So best taste is definitely four. So that's gonna get 5 points. Texture, number four, there's a lot of points. Texture, number one is gonna be 4 points for the texture. And oh, yeah, number two is gonna be texture, so that's 3. And I think one that seems like complete food is gonna be the worst rating for me. It seems like a whole piece. Number 3 is gonna get 1 point for texture, and it's going to get 2 points for number 5. We're ready for our final tally. So let me tally it up. The results are in the 2024 Girl Gone London Mushy Peas contest, and the winner is number 4. So now we need to check who actually number 4 was. These are the dried ones that we made together. These are the homemade ones. They won in every single category. By the way, this actually is 100% not rigged for the outcome of this video because I was kind of expecting I would like one of the pre-made canned ones better. I don't know. I didn't have that much faith in homemade mushy peas, but they won in every single category. Best color, best flavor, best texture. So I am surprised and not surprised, but I'm more interested to see which ones I've ranked beneath this because one of them lost in all categories. So let's keep going down the list. So the second place winner goes to number 1. So number 1 was this one with kind of like a fake color, but like good texture and flavor. So this is the brand name pre-made, which means this is the Bachelor's pre-made fish and chip shop style mushy peas. So now this is also interesting to me because I did wonder if there was going to be a difference between the supermarket brand and the brand name mushy peas, because sometimes people are like, you can't tell if it's own brand versus the brand. The brand one. Now there's a tie for the second or the third and the fourth actually. So the same score went to number 2 and number 5, interestingly. And this was based on a combination of things. So number 2 was Morrison's marrow fat peas. So this was the one where we just started with the tinned peas and kind of turned them into mushy peas. And number 5 is the Pharaoh's marrow fat peas. Again, the tinned that we turned into mushy peas. So, interestingly, in my experiment, there was no difference between the brand name marrow fat peas and the Morrison's marrow fat peas when you just started with that as the base. And this is interesting to me because it means that number 3 is going to be the Morrison's pre-made tin. So the supermarket brand pre-made mushy peas came dead last in my rankings. Again, I'm not sure I was 100% expecting that. Morrison's is now not going to sponsor any of my videos, but that's fine. This is a public service announcement to all that Morrison's pre-made mushy peas are not the way to go. But if you do need a can of pre-made mushy peas, then I think Bachelor's is going to be the winner if you don't want to make your own at home. As I'm cleaning up the massive mess I've now caused in my kitchen, leave a comment below. Let me know, which one did you expect to win? Do you have your own favorite mushy pea recipe or brand of mushy peas? Leave any other comments, fun facts, tips, tidbits, whatever you want down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.